All right, guys, this is Ducky. We're gonna do a bandage change for Ducky. I don't think we've actually ever talked about Ducky. So Ducky was hatched from an egg, which we thought was a chicken, and he unfortunately got hit by a car, which left his leg paralyzed here. We actually tried to repair it with surgery. It did not work. He ended up getting infected. So he has a paralyzed leg. So in order to walk, we put a brace on his leg every day. And this way it gives him like almost a crutch. And he does not like his leg being wrapped, but it doesn't really hurt him. But sometimes I just wrap him in a towel. That gives him a little sense of safety. This is like an old dog towel, but I'm gonna kind of show you how we wrap his leg here, okay? So, first thing I have to do is create a little pad for his foot, like a little shoe. I tried, somebody 3D printed me shoes, braces, all kinds of things. Honestly, they were too heavy for him. And I can say him all the time. Ducky's actually a girl. She lays eggs, but we thought she was a boy at first. So we got used to calling him, and then it like never stopped. So if I say him, that's why, but Ducky's actually a girl. So I tried getting like a special splint. I should show it to you at some point, but this way actually just works a little bit better. We just use some gauze and make a little Curlex wrap. My daughter actually picked this out. It's king, but she said, because Ducky's a queen. So slay queen is her response. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap his leg like this. And you can see she tries to wiggle the whole time, but this is our scheduled snuggle time. Okay. And then I'm gonna wrap it with this like really soft gauze. So this prevents any sort of sores. I don't want her getting a hurt leg. I don't want her skin rubbing off. If you can kind of see on the back of her leg, you'd probably have to zoom in a little bit. There's a little bit of space where there was some rubbing, and I have to watch those areas to make sure she doesn't develop like a bed sore, because we wouldn't want her to have a sore there. That would make an infection, and it would probably make her uncomfortable. We change this bandage, I don't know, depending how often. Like yesterday she went for a swim, so I'm changing her bandage because I want to make sure her bandage doesn't get wet or get infected or anything like that. Sometimes, she's wiggling too much, I'm having a hard time. Sometimes I change it once a week. Sometimes I change it every couple of days, just depending on what kind of activity she's in. Sometimes I don't like the way the brace is. It'll be too low, or I wrap it a little bit too, I don't know. I don't like the way that she stands on it and she looks uncomfortable. So sometimes she is uncomfortable if the brace isn't right. So I will often reposition it to make sure that her brace is better. Now, she used to have this done at the vet at first, and she absolutely hated it because she needed multiple people to do it. We actually considered euthanizing her at one point because she was so absolutely miserable with the brace changes and everything. And then I started doing it at home with my daughter, and she was so much calmer. So since then, she's been really happy. You can tell she's not exactly loving having her brace changed, but she doesn't quack, she doesn't fight, she doesn't bite, anything like that. Every once in a while, if I take a long time, which for some reason I'm taking a long time today, so I'm sorry. Sorry, Duck, she will get kind of fidgety. So let me stop talking to you and focus on actually wrapping her legs so that she doesn't have to sit here and deal with me chit-chatting with you here. So I try to make it kind of like an L shape. It doesn't always go that way, but this way it creates kind of like a shoe for her to stand on. Like I said, sometimes it's not always perfect, and I don't like the wrap that I do, and then I do reposition it sometimes. And then this one, I feel like I didn't get high enough. So if I make it nice and high, which I might try to make it a little higher here, I'm gonna end up using this whole wrap, which I don't like to do. I don't want it to get too heavy. This way it gives her more support at the hip. She did used to have function in the very top part of her leg, and we were doing like a swimming rehab for her, but she ended up kind of tripping, I guess you can say, over that leg, and the nerve function kind of stopped there. So I don't know if that was just a deterioration or if she re-injured it. I'm not entirely sure. But that's Ducky and her leg. We can try to see how she'll walk on it. I'll give you a pause and you can watch. Okay, so I'm back. This is like a newborn diaper I used to put on top of her brace. This has no purpose except for to keep my brace clean, because I'm worried if she gets, this is just kind of like a Curl-X, if this gets wet or soiled, it needs to be changed more frequently. I don't want her getting any sort of infection. So I ended up putting like a newborn baby diaper over it. It's very lightweight, so it doesn't drag her down, and it creates more of that shoe type situation, so she can actually walk on it. So like I said, so she actually doesn't need this brace, her leg is healed, but it creates like a splint for her. And then now Ducky goes outside. She does live outside. When she was recovering from her surgery, we did have her in the house, but she has returned to outside, which she loves. I'm gonna have to move her pool out of her coop so she doesn't get her new brace all wet, but I'll show you how she walks. All right, here she goes. She's walking. So I don't love this brace. I can tell you why already. I can see that maybe doesn't go high enough. Come here, Ducky. Luckily, she can't run away from me too much. She can't run away too much. So I don't love this brace too much. It doesn't go super high, but it will give her enough support for now. I feel like it's not enough of an L. She's dragging it just a little bit, so I might end up changing this one another day or two. Say hi to your fans, Ducky. But I just wanted to show you kind of what we do with her. Sometimes I get a really good brace and I leave it on for a while, and other times it's just not that great, so it'll support her for a day or so, but that might end up slipping down, and you can kind of see. I don't know why she's trying to run away. Maybe she's being camera shy today. Duck, come here. She's probably hungry. She's going for her coop probably for her food. I'm gonna go give her breakfast. Okay, bye-bye. All right, there's Ducky. Happily in her coop. Her coop's messy right now, so maybe I'll do a coop clean out video for you next. Hey, have a good day.